Is on everybody's table. Take a minute and spell them. I'm going to have Maria from PC Connection introduce our final speaker today, and I hope everybody enjoys this, and I'll talk to you after.
Great. Thank you. Sorry guys for eating all the brownies at lunch. So I have the pleasure of announcing Dr. Belinda Wee, who is the assistant professor for the School of Business Management at Hudson University. So she has a very comprehensive background, so I'm going to share a little bit about her with all of you. So Dr. Belinda Wee's PhD is in education with a specialization in human resource development from the University of Minnesota, and so is her Master of Arts in Human Resources and Industrial. Her Bachelor of Science degree is in Restaurant, Hotel, and Institutional Management from Purdue University in Indiana. She's appointed as a full-time faculty at Hudson University's College of Business in 2012. Dr. Wee's field experience include being engaged in high-level management positions in various large organizations that enjoy international presence, mainly as a human resource practitioner. Her portfolio encompassed corporate-level responsibilities like crafting human resource policies and procedures, and operations manuals that were implemented organization-wide. While working with a management company, which had interests in various hotels in China and Australia, Dr. Wee designed training and development modules for implementation in each of those hotels. Dr. Wee designed her pursuit of her career in the international hospitality sector led her to live and work in Singapore, Malaysia, the People's Republic of China, Hong Kong, Australia, and the United States. You haven't been anywhere. The establishment of a corporate training center that's located in Beijing and China for the Holiday Inn worldwide is another feather in Dr. Wee's cap. Just before joining Hudson University, Dr. Wee worked full-time for the state of Maine. Dr. Wee's research interests are in the areas of career development, motivation, mentoring, managing, and optimizing organizational talents, international human resource management and development, organizational development, amongst other topics. She keeps current on trends and best employer practices in the business arenas and actively participates in attending and presenting papers at conferences. She also serves as a peer reviewer for papers submitted to referred journalists and professional conferences. So welcome, Dr.
Can you hear me? Oh, yes, you can, of course. I've never worn a mic in any of my classes before, and I've told, oh gosh, I've got a mental block. Ralph, that's right. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge for me. I'm only 5'1", and the podium is very high, and my heels today is. So I'm going to walk about. In most of my classes, I usually make my students sit in U-shaped table, and I'm very comfortable if you help yourself to, oh, all the goodies are gone. Okay. Oh yeah, I was going to say, you can get up and walk and eat, and it doesn't really matter. Okay, my computer has, oh, okay. All right, let's go back. Okay. My topic, title of my topic is One Head, Many Heads. And yes, I do speak with a little bit of an accent, but I try to slow down. I'm originally from Singapore. How many of you have been to Singapore? Close to Singapore? Oh, wow, okay. How do you like that? Good. We got lots of food, right? All right. Anyway, because of my upbringing there, I do have an accent. And yes, I do speak Chinese and Malay, but today I'm going to use English. Ooh, that's a relief, right? Anyway, my topic is on one head, many heads. I've been talking with Diane Mitchum, and she had told me that a lot of people in the healthcare field, you work under a lot of stress, that your work is unpredictable. I heard the first speaker, that was kind of exciting, but I would probably have my blood pressure rise so high that I will be a patient myself in that industry. Anyway, as I said, as Maria had introduced me, my students call me Dr. Wee, please call me Belinda. Because my doctorate is not the kind of doctors that you are used to. If you have a heart attack, don't look for me. I'm so scared. By the way, do you know what a PhD stands for? Oh, you don't? Oh, geez. It stands for permanent head damage. So I don't know what I can be sharing with you. I am not like the other speakers. I don't have a lot of very hard scientific data. I'm an end user of a computer. Don't ask me. Sometimes, it doesn't work because I haven't plugged it in. I'm very, very normal, very human. Let's start with our talk. I know it's a beautiful day out there. It's Friday. I know you are aiming for that. I can tell it because everyone, it doesn't matter whether you're a student or working life, you want to get some of the sun, especially if you're working and living in Maine. Okay? And me too. I want to get out. All right, let's move on. I want to ask you this question. How many hats are you wearing? Just take a few minutes and I want to hear your numbers. How many hats do you wear at work? Let's just concentrate at work. Yeah, talk to neighbors. Yeah, just at work. Okay. Any volunteer to share the data? My kind of data. How many hats do you wear at work? I think you're dying to say something. How many hats do you wear?
I only wear a few.
Oh, okay. How many is a few?
Maybe two.
Two. Okay. Hey, that's still a lot. You know why? We've only got one hand. Right? Even two or three. Now, combine that with your roles outside of work. How many hats do you wear? 5, 6. Yeah. Well, I recently heard this. I should put up I had a question, but I didn't put it up. Sorry. I recently heard about a friend of mine who had been a pastor for 20 years, and he decided to leave the pastoral calling. And so someone asked him, why are you leaving that? He said, well, being a pastor, you have so many hats to wear. There's so many things that you are responsible for. And he said, I spent 13 years trying to straighten out Mary. I spent 14 months trying to straighten out this youth, John. And it all failed. But, I forgot the punchline. He said he wants to leave his job as a pastor and he wants to become a funeral director. You know why, right? Because now whatever he straightens stays straight. and that's what we meet with a lot of hats that we wear from day to day. I am going to share with you the many hats that I wear, so bear with me. Okay, this is my pink Chevy hat. My husband, I convinced him that I like pink. He says that everything can be pink except the house, the car, and our bed sheets. Okay, when I wear my pink Chevy hat, it is for me to help around in my fun role. I help around the house. My husband is also an auto mechanic, so I have to help him in the shop. Except he doesn't know when you have your head worn this way. Have you been under the lift? You have? What happened to you? Because with this visor, I can't see the tires. I bumped my head several times. That's why I have a permanent head damage. So, okay. Now, so this is my pink hat roll. I wear this hat once a year. This is my doctoral tam. When my students graduate, that's what I have to wear. Looks kind of silly, right? But you know what? I feel like artist when I wear this. But it's a doctoral tam. So this is my scholarly hat, my researcher hat, and my teacher hat. Okay? I should have. Sorry. Scholar, teacher, and researcher hat. My next hat is this one. I went through a lot of trouble doing my homework for this This is my gardener hat, yard worker hat, because the white brim protects me from the sun. Then I don't get skin cancer. You know, people in the healthcare industry like that, where people say, "Oh, you protect yourself." So that's my gardener hat. I'm not very good at gardening. I must confess that a lot of folks who come to my office, and by the way, do visit me at Hudson campus. I'm there most of the time. Well, not when I'm there, I'm in my office. All the plants I have in my office are plastic. Yeah, but you know, I don't have to put them out in the sun. I don't have to water them. I don't even have to talk to them. Okay, all right. This hat turns me into a mystery maker. Don't you sometimes feel like that? You want to play a trick on your friend, on a colleague? All right. And some days, whoops. Don't you feel like that? Some days, it's not only Halloween. Some days I feel like witch. I don't want to do good stuff. No. And in my robe, I sometimes said I'm fireman too. Firefighter, I mean. I forgot about the gender bias. I'm moving away from gender bias language. So sometimes don't you fight fire at work? Yeah, not only at work, at home too. All right, this is one of my favorite. I think it makes me look sophisticated. What do you think? Huh? But look at my spider. And I have been researching. Spider actually has been, spiders are associated with creator of venom and deadly traps, but they also they kill and they create life too. So some days I feel like that. Now, I borrowed this from my husband. This is his fishing hat. So sometimes I feel that I have to fish. Fish for what? Fish for stuff, a fisherman, a fisherwoman. I need to fish for my meals, my livelihood. Sometimes I don't feel like a cutie pie. I have a gray cat. She's a gray Maine barn cat, and she's the love of my life. And when I first found her, I call her Mrs. Gray. But someone asked me, is she Mrs. Gray because she's gray, or is she Mrs. Gray because she came from the Gray farm? The Grays owned a farm across the street where I lived. So I said, I don't know, she's just gray. So, that thing. Finally, my final hats that needed a little bit of help, and Tim helped me. Some days I feel like a queen. My tiara has broken, but thanks to Jim, I got it fixed. Don't you sometimes feel like queen or king? And it's not only from eating at Burger King, right? Okay, all right, let's move on then. So we do wear many, many hats, sometimes more than you may want to, all right? And that's why I have the word etc. Okay, that's a guy with hats. All right, now, according to my research, the scope of stress in the American workplace is very great because 1/4 of American workers view that their jobs are the #1 stressor in their lives. Isn't that sad? I mean, we all have to work. I mean, yeah, there's some people who don't work, but most of us like to work. I have spoken to friends who said, you know, if they ever win the Powerball, they will still continue working, but they will work at their own choice, or they'll do something that they like. And I remember, once upon a time, a few years back, I did work for Maine Care. And it was there that I learned from someone about retirement. He told me, if someone can retire, that's the best stage of your life. And I said, why? And you can do anything you want. You can get the jobs that you enjoy, because having worked for the state, they have their pension, their insurance, health insurance and everything's taken care of. And I thought about it, I said, yeah, retirement should be a very happy time of your life. Because you do anything. Well, the bad news is I'm a long way from it. Okay, 3/4 of our employees believe that there is more on-the-job stress than a generation ago. How many of you have the same belief? Me too. Yeah. There's more stress going on now. And finally, problems at work are more strongly associated with health complaints than with any other life stressor. Problems at work affects our health more than our financial problems or family problems. Because when our health is impacted, that's pretty expensive. It's hard to repair health, right? A personal experience, personal story. A few years ago, I had so much health situation, health complaints that actually I went to EMNC. My doctor was there. She did a great job. I actually had to undergo a gastric bypass to control my diabetes. Let me tell you, it's not a very smooth ride, but for the sake of my health, I was willing to do it. Because it doesn't matter how much money I make or I don't make, it's not going to help me. The health is very, very important. All right, let's take a quick look at the symptoms of unbalanced work-life thing. It will affect our physical aspect. It comes in the form of headaches, upset stomach, sleep disturbances, changes in appetite. Sometimes, I don't know about you, when I'm under stress, what do you think I do? Eat chocolate. Don't you do that? I know that's, or donuts, you know? And you have muscle tension, fatigue, heart palpitation. The other symptoms are emotional. Some of us feel depressed, we're anxious, we're irritable, difficulty in making decisions. You're just not calm and peaceful. And you might have seen this. Some people get into angry outbursts, or they feel resentment, or they feel powerlessness. Okay. Finally, personally, sometimes you do lose a lot of times with friends and loved ones. I mean, I remember when I'm working under stress from teaching, I would tell my husband, honey, I'd like to do this with you, but I can't. Maybe we'll make up during the weekend. I'll spend more time with you. He loves watching TV, but every time when I sit in front of the TV, what do you think happens to me? Yeah. That's what I do. And you do have job burnout. Sometimes you feel that you have to isolate yourself, stop your social activities. I can't go to that barbecue, or I can't go to church, or I can't go to my in-laws' house because I've got too much work. All right, and then sometimes it results in relationship loss or difficulties, and some people turn to self-medication. All right, now let's take a quick look at the definition of work-life balance. Any questions for me so far? Yeah. It can be dealing with the topic or anything else. If it's legal, I will answer them. Okay? All right. Okay, the definition that I got from the Cambridge Dictionaries online is the amount of time you spend doing your job compared with the amount of time you spend with your family and doing things you enjoy. I thought this is the simplest of all of the dictionary definition, and I picked this one because I could understand. And it was easier to type those words than those other big words. Okay? That's the truth. All right, so it's what I have found is the meaning of work-life balance. All right, let's take a look at what work-life balance is not. It is not equal balance across all aspects of our life. It doesn't mean that if we spend 33% at work, we spend 33% with our family, 33% for ourselves, for our health. That's not what it is. The optimum work-life balance does not remain static, but it will vary over time. Just think of it. Over the whole year, 12 months in Maine, when do you think is the most stressful time of your life? Holidays, exactly. That's supposed to be the most enjoyable. We're hanging out with friends and relatives, loved ones, and it is the most stressful. So it varies. I don't know why in all the holidays must happen at the same time. Could someone spread it out? You know, Thanksgiving in June or something, Christmas in December. Anyway, the other issue that work balance life is not. The best work-life balance will be different for everyone. There's no one size fits all. It will be, maybe for you it's this and for me it's something else. All right, just like they say, one man's meat is another man's poison. It's the same thing. Okay? So, work-life balance. I like this. How many of us do that? It's so common. I'm leaving work to go home and check work emails. I try my best to spend time at home just doing my stuff, but I do that. I'm guilty of this too. Oh, if I try not to check emails, I'll be thinking, oh gosh, what will happen? What's the response of that email that I sent out? You know? So this is very common. All of us go through this. Now, why are we talking about work-life balance? Okay, because we have globalization. Everything is happening. Everybody knows everybody. So with globalization, competition has increased. Globalization is not only whatever that's happening across the ocean, but actually globally, meaning the entire country. Whatever we do here affects someone there, or whatever that happens over there affects us too. The other thing that has come nowadays is our 24/7 economy. In Bangor, I remember along Broadway Avenue where you turn off to Hudson. Did you notice what McDonald's is doing? 24-hour drive-through. Yeah, it's like, wow. Maybe it's, I don't know. I actually should ask my students, are they the ones who are demanding this? Because I thought we fed them well at the Fisherman's Dining Center, but 24/7 economy is happening. Everything is 24 hours. I mean, just like when we are shopping online, and nothing stops. No one closes. You know, it's there. Hospitals, it's 24/7. And then we also find that the traditional line between work and family has blurred. Because, I don't know about you. With me, I have this excuse. When I bring work home, I say to my husband, no, I've got to get this done so that I can spend time with you tomorrow. Do you do that? Or you do it with the kids, you know? I got to work a little bit more so that we can go shopping or something. You know, this is, everybody places so much emphasis on the job, and what's going to happen. And this is all your fault. Technology. Seriously, once it allowed the flexibility, but now it takes over our personal lives. Technology has, because it makes life easier, but it increases some other things. You know, one of the questions that faculty members at Hudson discuss, and it's a huge thing. All right, we teach online classes, okay? If we teach on-the-ground classes, we meet, it depends on you can meet 3 times a week, you meet twice a week, or once a week. But when you teach online, how much time are you supposed to hold your office hours? Right now, the guideline to us is 8 hours of office hours a week and spread it out. So, for example, I teach a lot of online classes, but I have to make sure that I'm present on campus, and I sit at my office waiting for like houseflies to come in. Nobody can. But I have to make myself available. Number 2, when students send emails over the weekend, what do you do? Because if they send it on a Friday night and you don't answer till Sunday, that's about 48 hours. What will happen to the students? They probably have no nails. They expect you to instantly reply. But when is your off time then? I tell you, the other thing that is so strange, this summer I teach 4 classes. This Tuesday I started 2 classes. Guess what? First thing on Sunday morning, I found an email in my inbox. I wish I didn't check emails, but it was there. And the student was asking me, is that class that I signed up with you, is it starting? I said, yeah, Tuesday. Why is nothing up on the web? But I ask you this question, if this class had been a regular face-to-face on-the-ground class, would you go to class a day earlier to wait for your professors? You see what I mean? They expect us to get everything ready and they have to see, you see, because my stuff are ready on the web, but I did not publish it because I was just thinking, I think I need some time for myself too. Because one of my classes finished last Friday. I have 72 hours to finish grading everything and turn in the grade. So I wanted some time for myself. And then I got hounded because of technology. It's a blessing and it's a curse. Okay. Now, what are some strategies then to improve balance? Let's take a look at it. I don't agree with all. I don't blame it if you don't agree with all. But there are some ideas for us to start thinking of. One of it is, should we clarify our priorities? I think so. There are certain things that, if you say if your inbox has 10 things, don't tell me all 10 things have to be finished today. You just have to prioritize it. 2, by asking questions like what projects will give us the biggest return if we tackle them now. I am from the College of Business. I talk about returns. I even encourage my students to negotiate with me. Some of them are not happy with their grades. Okay, negotiate. And what I mean is, I don't really like to give the extra credit projects because it's more grading for me. And number 2, it's not really fair to the rest who work as hard. So I say negotiate. And if it's something that I feel is fair and legal, I'll agree to it. After all, whatever field you're in, you are in the area of business. So you should negotiate. Negotiate with your boss. Let us work. Okay. You could actually ask the question, what projects will have negative consequences if we put them off? Would anyone die? Okay? Ask this question. What needs immediate attention? Perhaps we should have. But it's just like, you guys are in the health field. You can do your own triage and decide what to do first and what not. Can wait for a while. Okay, another thing we should do is reach out to others. Delegate to others. And sometimes we are very reluctant to do this. There are many reasons. Sometimes when we delegate, are we saying we can't do it? No. But it appears to us, maybe our self-esteem is bruised. But it's okay, we can't do everything. All right, so reach out to others. Stay organized and manage your time. It's easier to say than done. I know it, me too. It's easier said than done. I actually, I'm not a night person, but when I have papers to write and finish, I do stay up to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. However, I pay for it. You know, what happens when you don't have enough sleep? Okay. This sounds a bit racist, but it's not. It's meant as a joke. When you don't have enough sleep, you guys turn into raccoons. Because raccoons are common here in this country. I turn into a panda bear. Isn't it scary? This huge monster with black eyes. I turn into that, so it's easier said than done. Now, get to work. Break problems down to smaller, more manageable pieces. Don't procrastinate. You know, make sure that you break it up to your work. Know that you cannot do everything. You're not Superman. We have to have our limit. All right? And one of the things that I sometimes, like I said, I'm guilty of this. My church does a community luncheon every month. And guess who makes the best fried rice in town? That's what I think. And I always say that I have to. This year, there are 2 months that I did not provide fried rice. But did anyone complain? No, there are other food to eat. The other ladies make beautiful corn chowder. Someone make a wonderful shepherd's pie. So why am I worried that somebody is dying for fried rice? Nobody said that. Yeah. Take action to reduce or remove the stressor. It's like, boss, get out of here. Sometimes people are doing that, like, oops, this has been taped. Yeah. Okay. I was going to say shh, but all right. Here are other strategies. Learn to say no. this is very difficult for someone like me, with my upbringing, my values, my confusion, not confused, but Confucius, whatever Confucius taught. Do you realize for a lot, I'm going to say for the Chinese, because I know for sure, I have lived and worked in China. There are lots of research to say that to the Chinese, you're nodding your head too. You agree? Is that one of your experience, that it's very hard for Chinese to say no?
Yes.
Do you want to share that experience?
No.
Okay. Okay. It is very
My
hard
wife
for
was
us.
in China for 2 weeks. She started the Asian Studies program at Bangor High School.
Okay.
And it was, through her being there and sharing, everything was yes.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Even the impossible was yes.
You're considered very impolite when you say no to someone. And I know in business negotiation with the Chinese, when you said, oh, why don't we sign the contract now? The Chinese party will say, let me think about it. Let's talk about it over dinner. That means, you know, you can almost think that it wouldn't work. All right, but we have to learn how to say no. And now there are many ways of saying no, and I guess to me, to the Chinese, it's like we don't want them to lose face. So it's like very respectfully, you can do stuff nicely. All right, leave work at work. I know this is another thing that's easier said than done, because you guys carry your laptops around like me, right? So how do you leave work at work? And sometimes it's not the physical machine. You bring your work back in here. You keep thinking of stuff. Can we try to leave work at work and have that time for our loved ones who deserve us, or with our friends? You're tapping your head too, huh? Okay. Ask for help. Help. How many of us, when we ask for help, would face like, no, that's your job? Well, maybe, but to a certain we have not tried. Let's ask for help. And maybe it's the way we approach. The other thing is, if you want people to help you, what should you be? Should you be nice? You should help too. The other thing is to build up a relationship. You know what's the best way to build up a relationship? Eat something with someone. You learn a lot about the other person. You talk about it. Carol and I were lining up next to each other. We got to know each other, and we found mutual friends too, right?
We did.
Yeah, over food. So fun. I've always told, I teach a couple of management classes, and I told them, you know what is one of the best ways to do team building? Get together and eat. You don't have to provide stuff. Even if you have to, how much is a pizza? Right? I mean, with Pizza Hut, all those deals that are coming out, it doesn't cost much, and you could shop around. I know I'm being taped, and if my dean sees this, I'm sorry. All faculty members have access to a fund, what we call mentoring fund. However, times are bad for universities, Institute of Higher Learning too. So it's been reduced. And I remember applying for the mentoring fund this past semester. I got $35. And I have 27 students in that class. What do you do? What would you do?
Pizza, fried rice.
We are not supposed to cook our own. We have to buy something commercially, because can you imagine if something happens to one of the students, we'll be sued. So I have to buy it. And I thought, I could buy cookies, but you know, it's like one each. They're not cheap either. I started shopping around. I did my research, and I found a bakery. I live in Palmyra, that part of, how many of you have heard of that cafe in St. Albans, Sunrise Cafe? That place actually helped me out. You know what I did? I negotiate with the owners, and I bought, have you heard of their mountain buns? It's this big. It's bigger than my face. Seriously, it's a cinnamon bun, this big, and they pack each one into a box. And the owner only charged me $1.50. Okay, I got $35. That still doesn't cover, but it's only a few dollars out from my own pocket. And guess what? The students, They were so happy. They felt that at least, you know, I'm celebrating their success in the class. It was the last class of the semester. And one of them, a week later, this cute little, no, not little, this young lady came to me. Professor, it took me a week to finish my bun. To share it. When you share, you build your teamwork, you build your relationship with your friends. They might be able to do your homework. Okay, ask for help. Now, please be proud of what you do. That's your blood, sweat, and tears. That's yours. Be proud of what you do. And not only that, what you do, what you accomplish, track them. Write them down. Why do I say that? You got to blow your own trumpet. There's performance appraiser. Only you know what you do. Let your bosses know this is what I've done. In a way, that's what academians do. We track our own accomplishment. That's why I'm so glad you are videotaping this. It's going into my faculty dossier. That's something I do. I call this community service. I'm up here entertaining you guys, doing a song and dance. And I promise you I'll let you out early. And no quizzes, no exams, okay? Know when to seek professional help. I think one of our speakers talked about the EAP. There's nothing wrong about seeking help. If we need help, go and seek help. Remember to play, to breathe, walk or move, because we need to exercise and take care of ourselves. I say that better than I do it. Eat, drink, sleep. We really need to do that and take care of ourselves. Because if we don't take care of ourselves, how are we going to take care of our loved ones? Remember, I think the airline said very right. Every time when you take off, they have that procedure thing about emergency thing happens, the oxygen mask comes out, take care of yourself and take care of the others. Because if you're unconscious, how can you take care of anyone? And we really don't want to. That's what I told my mom. I said, Mom, you got to remember to take your medication. Because if something happens to you, you will be very hurt. More hurt than you are. So, take care of yourself. All right, slow down. I think a lot of us are actually moving in the speed of light of the bullet. Okay. Remember to laugh, to giggle, to chuckle, to chortle. It doesn't matter if you make funny noises like it's okay. It's okay because you're enjoying yourself. Okay? Pick your battles. Don't fight everything. Pick them. Use your influence. Okay? And remember what is important. Remember what's important. Disregard what is unimportant. Not everything is important. And you could say, you know, it doesn't matter, and shrug it off. All right, pick your battles. Now, we all say we wear a lot of hats, right? There are advantages. Yes, there are. It increases our inventory of skills. That's why I say you have to write down your accomplishments. Because at that performance appraiser, ta-da, I did something. Okay? So it increases our inventory of skills. It keeps us from paying too much for materials. Why did I say that? Because if you know how to, say if you know how to sew, you buy your own material, you cut your own pattern and stuff, you save a lot of money from, instead of buying a dress, you make it. All right? If you can bake, you will be saving a lot of payment and cost for materials too. Enhances the creative process because it makes us think. It really makes us think of how to do stuff. And we also gain wisdom and experience. So what does that make us? Better at all our other hats. So there are advantages of wearing hats. So many hats. All right. Here is the point. How to wear the right hat for the test. Am I speaking too fast? I was just thinking of the sunshine. Okay. One of the first things is to conduct an inventory of your hat rack. What do I mean? Stephen Covey, who wrote the author of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he explained how to consciously define and nourish each of the roles you play in life. Right? So you've got to, okay, I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I'm good at this. All right? Now, pick the right hats for the tests. When I say virtual team is yourself in here, pick which hat you should bring to bed? Like if you're going to approach this project, this assignment, which hat do you want to bring? I know, for example, this thing about, I love cooking, that's why I gave you the example of my fried rice. And every time when we have a project at church, I would want to do some cooking. But you know what? The other thing is, in my church, we have a lot of seniors. I'm also good at helping out with the decorating team because I can climb up and down. You saw my head as a monkey. I'm more agile than them. Maybe I should let them do the cooking and I do the climbing. All right? So that means, that is what I mean by picking the right hats. Know when to fold them. Who sang this? That's right. That's right. If you detest a task or you're no good at it, then hire it out, leverage what you do best. You can't be good at doing everything. We like to think we are, but don't kid yourself. All right, work-life balance. The key word is balance. All right, that's the key word. Find the right balance that works for you. How many hats can you wear that day? All right, celebrate your success. Some of us beat ourselves up so hard, We go back with 2 black eye, what do you call that, bruised cheek and everything. We forget, hey, we got through the day. Why didn't we? Right, celebrate your success. Do not dwell on your failures. What's that going to do for you? It's going to make you discouraged. It's going to make you feel bad. Don't dwell on failures. Okay, you didn't do very well. You could have done it better another way. Then do it better another time. All right, life is a process. Remember, strive for balance in your life. And remember, life is a journey, it's a journey and not a destination that matters, okay? All right. Hats of responsibility. Think about it. What hat of responsibility are you wearing today? How many more hats do you have to cycle through during the week? Talk to yourself. I think sometimes the best conversations with ourselves. When you are asked to try on one more hat, do remember you've only got one hat. Okay? So you don't want to end up like her. Okay? And thank you. Yes, you can. You can. All right? I'll pause here and take questions.